Today, we're talking kits, and not just any kits. We're talking about kits from the 1990s, back when this was your favorite show, this was your favorite band, and everybody was dressed, I don't know about exactly like this, but maybe, that was considered high fashion in the 1990s. So, welcome to the Red Half of Sheffield. My name is Noah Snyder. I'm joined, as always, by Chad Jarvis, and we're talking some 1990s Sheffield United kits. For me, in my humble opinion, this is the best decade, I think, for kits for Sheffield United. Some absolute bangers in there. Chad, what's your take in general on the kits from the 1990s for Sheffield United?
It is a certain I don't know how to say it, but it's a certain era that when you look back at the '90s, you see we've been accustomed to the kids of today where they're skin tight, and now you look back at the '90s and it was like everybody was wearing grill covers or like big ponchos as their
Yeah.
shirts. And yeah, it's pretty interesting to see how they evolve through the decade, and then obviously up until now it's pretty crazy to see some of the crazy and wacky weird designs, even with home and away kits back in the '90s, which you would honestly think we would have two colors. But I guess is the '90s is kind of where it started to get weird with kits. I guess I don't know, because
Yeah.
I when I think back to that time, it was like you think it's much more simpler, and it was just like you had a home and away kit, and then the more you dive into it, it's like, no, then there was a third kit, and the home kit was always red and white, but then the away kit was not our alternate color. It was, as we're about to go through, 15 different shades of blue, green, blue, yellow, a lot of yellow.
A
Yeah,
lot of
I don't
yellow.
know.
A lot of yellow. Um, these are, like I said, these are amongst some of my favorite kits, maybe ever, for Sheffield United. And if you didn't watch our video last week, we did every single third kit ranked. From here on out, we're going to be ranking home and away kits. If there is a third kit, it's because it was an away kit, I think the previous year. So you will see a couple return this week, and we'll rank them probably similarly to how we ranked them last week. But let's get that tier list up. And as you can see, the tiers exactly the same as they were last week. We have best ever, right kit that, all right, bit shit, and utter dross. And that is how we're going to be ranking the kits this week. So let's just get right into it, Chad. The first kit that we're going to throw on the screen here is the 1990-1991 home kit. And I am sure there are some people watching this video who look at that kit and think, that's a great kit. Very, very fond memories in this kit. Our first season back in what was then Division One in 1991 after getting promoted. Manager was Dave Bassett. A lot of good memories, I think, in that kit, and that'll endear it to a lot of people. Chad, what's your take on that 1990-1991 home kit?
I said it's all right. I mean, it's I mean, is plain as plain can be. It gets to the point. The red and white stripes, the United logo, which I'm kind of fond of that logo, with the spelling of the club's name in the blades. But it's it's almost plain Jane for me. It's kind of right there in the middle. It's not horrible, and it's not an absolute great kit. And it's I kind of got to take the emotional, even though this was the beginning of my life, and I wasn't around to see any of this, but it's one of those, the emotional factor. I've taken that out in all these kits now, and I've just kind of gone on looks and what my opinion is, and I just think it's all right.
Yeah, I think it's an all right kit as well. I think like you said, Chad, there's a lot of emotional attachment to this kit. Those were the years of Dina Gana, and just I mean, a lot of really great football was played in that kit. So taking out the emotional aspect of it, I agree with you. I think it's an all right kit. For me, I think the pinstripes are a little too thin personally. And when you look at it from far away, it just kind of looks like all meshed together. And especially like on telly in the 1990s when the quality wasn't that good, it was very difficult to see the red and white stripes, and everything just kind of, blended together a little bit. But I agree with you. All right kit for me. And then the away kit from 1990, 1991, another. I think this is an absolute banger of an away kit. Probably one of I think every neon colored away kit that we've had over the last 30 some odd years, 33 years, harkens back to this away kit. This is iconic for me, Chad. I don't know about you, but this
Yeah.
is an iconic away kit.
No, I agree. I really like that. And I was just about to say that point you just made. I think all of our highlighter neon colors harken back to this kit and how I think it's beautiful. I think it's one of our best kits, you know, ever.
Wow.
Yeah, I really, really, really like this kit because I'm a fan of the highlighter color. But I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, you have the I mean, even the script of the sponsor on the front, and then again that logo, the club crest. For me, it just does it. It's almost like a complete kit for me.
So, Chad, you're making an argument for this to go into best ever. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, there's a couple further down that are going to rival it, so I wouldn't put it up there.
Okay.
But I'll go. I think it's second best right now.
Okay. So we'll stick it and right kit that for now, and then we'll come back to it as we move along here. Now, the next kit is the kit that I'm wearing. It is the 1992-1993 Umbro kit. I absolutely adore this shirt. That badge, that for me, that's the best badge that United have ever put out. I absolutely love it. I bought several shirts now that have like just that badge on it. It's just a beautiful kit. I love the pinstripes in between the red and the white. I just love pinstripes on a Sheffield United kit. The only complaint that I have is that the sleeves are just the pattern changes at the sleeves. If the pattern had continued into the sleeves, this would be like far and away the greatest home kit ever.
No,
But it's damn close. For me, it's damn close to being one of the best home kits that Sheffield United have ever produced. Your thoughts,
no,
Chad?
I agree. I really like this one too, and it's like everything they got everything spot on with this one. You know, they updated the club crest and the sponsor. I mean, it just everything flows. Obviously, like you said, with the parts on the shoulders, you know, if they got it right and made it all flow the same way, it would have been probably a tough one to beat. But yeah, second best. This is gonna be a very hard category to figure out who the best ever is.
Yeah, I know. We definitely have our work cut out for us here. But next up, we have got the 1991-1992 away kit. And I don't know what it was about the 90s and Sheffield United just putting out absolute banger kits, but this is another one that's just an absolute banger. I mean, I love that shade of yellow. The red collar is phenomenal. I don't know what that weird thing is on the sleeve. We discussed this on our third kit. Not sure what that is. This was used as the third kit, I think, for the 92-93 season, I believe. But at the same time, I absolutely adore this kit. I think it's just simple but beautiful. And I do love the collar on some of these early 90s kits a lot.
Yeah, it's hard for me to put it in the same category. I'd say it's all right because I don't like the hue of the yellow. I'm more of a highlighter type person, but I mean, all in all, it's a decent kit, and I don't like you made mention of. I don't really know what those weird deals are on the sleeves, but I mean, it's all right for me.
Well, we will stick it in all right for the moment. And then we'll come back to it and we'll make our arguments at the end, as we're going to be doing throughout these videos as they progress here. We will make our final arguments at the end. For now, based on your suggestion, and because you did make a relatively compelling argument, I am going to be sticking it in all right for the moment. Next up is the 1993-1994 away kit. And I don't need to tell you, Chad, you know how much I love this kit. This may be, in my opinion, the greatest away kit that Sheffield United have ever produced. We talked about it last week when we were talking about third kits, because this was used as a third kit for the 1994-1995 season. But irrespective of that, that sash is absolutely gorgeous. And I know a lot of people hate blue, especially on a United kit, because, of course, the Pigs utilize blue as their primary color. But by the same token, as far as an away kit is concerned, I don't really think they get much better than this one.
Is there chance that we have this the best ever in two categories? I
It's
mean,
entirely plausible.
it's such a nice kit. I mean, it just everything about it is. I don't know. It just everything kind of flows together again with the sponsor. You
Yeah,
have you've seen it three times now. We've had it in black writing with on a yellow, a neon yellow, and even the home kit, and now on this blue kit. Just I don't know. There's something about that font and that sponsor, and just
yeah.
it brings in even the badge looks really good on that color of blue.
Yeah, so I own a polo shirt that is in this style of kit, and it might be my favorite shirt that I own. That's like not like an actual football kit. I wear it all the time to work, and it still looks relatively professional, even though it's got the United badge on it. I wear it
Mhm.
all the time. I absolutely love it. So we're going to make our arguments, but this is definitely one of the kits that is going to be a contender for the best kit of the 1990s. Next up, we got a little weird with it as far as the 1994-1995 kit for home was concerned. I'm going to call this the full Monty kit, because this is the kit that was worn in the full Monty. And it's indeed going to be worn on the new Netflix series, or Disney. I should say Disney Plus series, the reunion series. Your thoughts on this one, Chad?
Not a big fan of this one. Every time I see it, I see that movie playing in my head. So I mean, it's all right. It's not horrible. It's a decent kit. It's just I don't know. Every time I see, I could just see him in that movie, just walking around with it on, and it's just like, okay,
Yeah,
this is the full Monty kit. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's all right. I mean, the thing that's weird about this kit is just kind of like the triangle shape at the top, as it like kind of sinks into like that black sponsor with the band around it. I kind of appreciate that they were trying to do something different from what had come before, but at the same time, I think it's just a little too out there. Again, the stripes not going all the way up. I'm fine with the black bar, like with the sponsor and
Mhm.
everything, but at the same time, yeah, those two triangles on the shoulders just kind of going down into that black bar, which isn't even all the way across. Maybe when you wear it, it looks a little bit more even, but yeah, I'm just not. I'm. It's not bad enough to where it should go into like a bit shit. but it's not good enough to go into right kit that. So I think all right is the perfect category for that 94-95 home kit.
Yeah.
Next up, we have got the 1994-1995 away kit. And again, I mean, you want to talk about great away kits. Through the first half of this decade, we put out some amazing away shirts. And this is quintessentially 90s. That patterning is, like I said, just so quintessentially 1990s. Again, it's got my favorite badge on it. I just love that shield style of badge. And just I think Umbra was a great kit maker for us in the first half of this decade.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's quintessential 90s. Not really my style. I feel like you would wear this at a clubhouse if you're or on the golf course,
Yes,
when you went
absolutely.
golfing.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's symbolic of the decade, I guess, because I feel like my father wore shirts like this, and family members of my family wore this at one, like patterns of this similar style back in that day, and yeah, it doesn't tickle my fancy, but I don't know. What you make the call on this one, Noah? What category are we putting this one in?
um, I think this one goes into. I'm gonna say all right. I'm gonna say all right.
Yeah, you spoke more highly of it than I did, and I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
very well. I mean, yeah. When I see it, it looks all right. Nothing. No, it's just kind of like right there in the middle. Eh, either you hate it or you like it.
yeah. No, I'm inclined to agree with you. It is all right. It's not the greatest ever, but it's not terrible either. So, um, next up, we've got the 1995-1996 away kit. Looks a little something like that. It's the Jester kit.
Yeah.
Um, this is probably my least favorite away kit of all time. Not a big fan. Yeah, just I mean, it looks like a jester's outfit. That's the best way to describe it. Um, the purple and the yellow together just clash. It's straight down the middle. That divide also is kind of gross. Yeah, just I don't like this. I
Yeah,
think this goes into utter dross. If I'm being honest with you.
yeah, and I don't like one thing I don't like about that is, and I'll put it back up here. The they changed the United logo. The background of it is blue and yellow to match the kit, and you like nowadays it doesn't matter what color the kit is. Like you know, a s our logo stays the same. For them to just go and change it to
Yeah,
blue and yellow, it's like, no, I'm good. That's a little too much there. Nah, I'm good. That's ugly as hell.
yeah, not a massive fan of that one. And I think this was a year in which we didn't have that neither of the kits were good.
Yeah.
I think you can make an argument that the diamond kit, which we're going to get to in a moment, is one of the worst home kits of all time. So yeah, 95-96, not a great year for kits for United. So getting into that diamond kit, I think
Good.
a lot.
Oh boy.
This is a thing. This is a kit, Chad, where you either love it or you hate it. There's no two ways about it. I actually do kind of like the badge. It's interesting to see like on that red background there.
Mhm.
Um, but at the same time, the diamonds don't do it for me, man. They just don't. They're our home kits are red and white stripes. That's it's been that way forever. And I appreciate that they were trying to do something different, but at the same time, they got too weird with it, and they struck out on this one to
Yeah.
to mix our sports metaphors here. You know,
Oh
they
yeah,
just did not
that's
do a good job.
red and I didn't know we were red and white diamonds. Diamonds
Yeah.
are forever for a girl, or whatever the saying is, and nope, did not work in United. Yeah, like you said, the only thing that is worth a damn on this kit is the badge with the red background. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the bat. You know what? I think the badge potentially saves this. I'm gonna change this to bit shite, um, as opposed to utter dross because I think the badge saves this. To be
Hmm.
honest with you, I don't think I can, in good conscience, put this in utter dross.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it'll live in a bit shite for the time being. The next one that we're going to go for here is the 1996 1997 home kit. And I think a lot of people will have very fond memories of this one. It's the first Wards kit that I think a lot of people
Hmm.
remember very, very fondly. And what I'll say about this is that it's simple, but it's beautiful.
Yeah,
And I'm I personally am not a fan of how these kits fit on me. I have one of the reproductions of this shirt, and I don't know if the how it fits is exactly like one for one, but it's super baggy. And it just makes me look like I'm wearing, a garbage bag or something, or what did you say, a barbecue cover?
a
Was that
grill cover, yes, or a
a grill cover?
poncho.
Yeah, yeah. So, but we're not here to talk about sizing. We're here to talk about aesthetics, and aesthetically, it's a very pleasing kit. It's a kit that
Yeah,
I like a lot. Your
I do.
thoughts, Brad?
Yeah, I really like this home kit. I mean, this is really. I have the reproduction like you do, and yeah, this is one of my favorite kits. Yeah, I just like everything. The red and white stripes, they flow so nice. The badge looks good. The Ward sponsor, we nailed it in the 90s with sponsors for the most part,
Absolutely.
honestly, because they
Yeah.
fit. This completely fits with the home kit.
No, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think we had like three really really good sponsors in the '90s. And, we closed out the decade by just having blades. We self sponsored it, so we'll get to those in a minute here. But yeah, Arnold Laver, Wards, fantastic sponsors for us throughout the '90s. Okay, getting into we've now reached the late '90s. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't even we did not even talk about where this ranks. Chad, where are you putting this shirt? I
I
think
think
it's a right
it's
kit. That
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think it goes up there with the rest of them. Yeah, for debate for which one's the best ever.
Yeah, agreed. So I think it's possible. It might be possible that the 1997 1998 home kit is even better than the 96 97 home kit. I
Mm,
mean, here's the one thing that I'll say: the stripes, perhaps they're a little bit too big, but
yeah,
like I said, I love me some pinstripes. This is a pinstripe kit. It's got that badge that I like so much, and I think even the fact that there aren't red and white stripes continuing to go up the sleeves, I think that's forgivable because the collar is so good on this one. I do like a like a polo style collar on a kit. Your take, Chad?
yeah. I'm the complete opposite. I don't like this one because of the stripes are too wide and the red shoulders. They need to have red and white on the shoulders. And then I'm not a big fan of the collared look. I just like it more, I guess, normal style, I guess you can call it. But back in this decade, it, every kit seemed to have a collar. So I'm not a big fan of the collars. I just kind of like the regular shirts. But I mean, this is all right. I mean, it it has that really nice badge. It has a nice sponsor, but I think they just made the white stripes in the middle way too thick. If they even, I mean, they're probably proportionately set, but I think it needs a little bit more red and whiteness going on.
So you're making a claim that it should go into all right.
Yeah,
Okay. We can stick it there for the time being. I'm definitely going to be making an argument towards the end of the video that this should go up into right kit that. Maybe what we need is another tier in between, like in between all right and right kit that, and then in between bit shit and utter dross.
yeah,
Maybe we need to do a 7 tiers as
yeah,
opposed to
right.
just the 5 here.
Yeah,
No, I think 5 is sufficient. I think it gets a little convoluted when you're doing that many tiers here. Okay, moving right along, the 1997-1998 away kit. This was utilized as a third kit, I believe, for the 1998-1999 season. And we talked about it last week, but it's a plain Jane. It's
yeah,
just a white kit with the word sponsor. It's all right. I like it. I think it's simple. It's plain. You can't eat in it, of course, because then you're going to just drip, your HP or your your ketchup or your Hendos on it. So definitely not a shirt you can eat in, but still a good shirt. Not it's all right. That's my opinion.
yeah. I'd agree with you. It's just simple. It's just no thrills or frills. It's just kind of there. It is white background, and we put some color on it a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think we need to say anything else about that because we talked about it on our last video. Next up is the 1998-1999 away kit. And it's got
Blades.
that, yeah. It's not a bad kit, not a bad away kit, but is it my favorite? No. It's not a bit shit. It's not a right kit. It's all right.
Yeah,
That's my opinion about this one. It's just all right.
yeah. I think it's all right too. It's just I'm not a big fan of the colors. I'm not really a big fan. I like the blades sponsor across the front. I like the badge,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
other than that, it's just kind of all right.
Yep. I'm inclined to agree with you. Our second to last kit here, the 1999-2000 home kit. Blade self-sponsored kit, and I think that was for our that we did that because it was 110 years. I'm gonna guess that was the reason why we did something a little bit special here for this one. But this one's not a bad kit. Again, it's not as good as that Wards kit,
Hmm.
just because I think that Wards kit is relatively flawless as far as a home kit is concerned. I'm going to make an argument that this should go into all right.
Yeah, I can see us playing in this, and it just like everybody wearing like 4XLs, and it just hanging off of their said body and just flapping in the wind. Just based on that picture you put up there, it's just like, yeah, I could see this. Yeah, this is an all right kit for me. I do like the blades sponsor across the the front, and yeah, it's decent. It
And you don't
certainly
see that
adds
a lot.
more. It seems it adds a little bit more red and white stripes. I mean, I think it's odd to end on like half of a red stripe at the top instead of like you got full white and you got like a little bit of red and then it ends. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, and again, there's no the the stripes don't continue into the sleeves. That which is
Yeah.
and I understand that it was a different time and that just wasn't done where the stripes like continued up into the sleeves and so they look vertical when your arms are kind of at your side.
Mhm.
Um, but by the same token, that knocks a few points off for me.
Yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, it is the 1999-2000 away kit. It's relatively plain. I mean,
Mm.
I still like that. This was like the first time in this decade, really, where we had our two primary colors in an away kit. You know, it's got the red, it's got the white, it's got that blade sponsor. But can I just say the yellow highlight like in the blades
Nope.
looks awful. It
Yeah.
looks awful.
Doesn't
I
do it
can't
for me.
stand it. Yeah, I'm gonna
There's
make an
something.
argument.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Th-
I'm gonna make an argument already that this should go into a bit shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because it's just no. The whole thing is when, and this is many years. It's 23 years ago. It's one of those deals where I feel like now you have to make sure that the sponsor, the logo on the shirt, kind of flows a little bit. And we did, as we talked earlier in the decade, we did that, and then it kind of like drifted away there and got absolutely like hideous. You know?
Just wait. Just wait till we do
Oh
our
man.
video next week, Chad. You're gonna be up in arms
Oh
because
yeah.
there was no cohesion between sponsor and kit in the aughts or the 2000s, and for the first half of the decade in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Just no, like yeah, no
That
fidelity there.
that's a big thing for me too. It's just like, we gotta it all has to flow together, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree with you, and that's why this last kit is going to go into a bit shit, just a little bit. So I'm going to make some arguments for why two shirts in particular should go into right kit that are in all right. So first and foremost, I'm going to be talking about the 1994-1995 kit. Again, I mean, you said, Chad, earlier that it looked a little bit like a golf shirt, but at the same time, there's something just so quintessentially 90s about this shirt. And I don't know. I just love how it looks. I would love to own this shirt. I've looked for it everywhere on eBay. I cannot find it. If you are the proud owner of this shirt in a size XL and want to do away with it, please hit us up on Twitter at Red Sheffield or me personally at Nestman930 because I want this kit. I want it so bad. So I'm making an argument, Chad, that this should go into right kit. That it definitely doesn't belong in best ever, but I think it's as good as that Ward's kit, that Ward's home kit
Yeah.
for
Well,
96-97.
it is I see where you're coming from on that. I mean, it's in the center of the decade. It kind of wraps the decade up before you're only halfway through. And I mean, it makes sense. It's just not my cup of tea, honestly. But I mean, hey, to each their own, I guess.
So okay, so here's what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna get to pick two to move, and you're gonna get to pick two to move, and then we'll decide what the best ever kit is. So that's my first. Why don't you go and make an argument about moving one? One or you can pass.
Mm,
Are there any? Do you think that this is pretty good so far here? And
honestly,
we just have
honestly,
to rank best ever?
I do think, aside from the one that you just the 94, 95 away, I think that's a pretty good list, honestly, because I mean, I think there's only, yeah, uh, yeah. Honestly, I think I'm okay with this list. Yeah, I wouldn't change.
Okay.
I wouldn't change anything.
I'm going to make one more argument. One more argument, and that's that the 97 98 kit should get moved into right kit. That I just think there were a lot of good kits in this decade. And if we're looking at the pantheon of Sheffield United kits, considering what we're about to do next week, which is ranking the aught kits, the 2000s kits, and there's so many either like poor to mid, as the kids like to say, kits in that decade. I just feel like we need to acknowledge how good some of the kits in the 90s were. I'm making the argument that Ward's kit from 1998, 1997, 1998 go into right kit that.
Now, the more I look at it, it does grow on me. It's just the biggest thing is it needed more red and white stripes.
Yeah, I agree, which is why nobody's going to make an argument it should go into the best of the decade.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's fair.
okay. So we've come to the end here. We're going to rank, and I think we should do both one home and one away. Because look, we've got 3 home and 3 away kits that are in right kit that we should rank the greatest home kit from the 90s and the greatest away kit from the 90s. Chad, make your arguments.
The greatest away kit for me is the 91 away kit. That
Oh,
one is, yes. I don't want to go. I don't want to go with the 93, 94 because I did that for a third kit. So I'll change it up a bit and I'll go with the 90, 91 away kit for me, best ever. As far as the home kit, I will go with the, what is that? The 96, 97 home kit as the best ever. I will feel.
really?
Yep.
Okay.
I think though that was our best home kit and best away kit of the decade. I just, those two to me out of that category pop off to me.
You see, and for me, I have 2 completely different kits that I would put in best ever. Okay. For me personally, it's that 92 93 home kit. That is the best home kit, maybe ever. Maybe ever. It's up there. It's one of the best. And look, we can talk about, Brian Dean scoring the first ever, Premier League goal in that kit, and how much, I mean, the memories that a lot of United fans have of us wearing these kits. But by the same token, I just think, aesthetically speaking, it's the best. I love the pinstripes on it. I think the collar's great. I like the little tie right here. They just don't do this on kits anymore where you have the tie. So I'm going to make my argument. I can see your argument, and I'd be happy, more than willing, to agree to that 1990 1991 away kit going into best ever as far as away kits are concerned. But I'm probably going to hold fast on the 92 93 home kit.
And you do make good points on the home kit. You know, it, how often do you see the tie in there like a, it's almost like a hockey sweater over here. You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
all
exactly.
are, so it does make it different than all the other kits there. And the sponsor does flow with it and it has the right amount of stripes because even the 96, 97 for me doesn't have enough stripes. The 92, 93 does have considerably more. So I'll let you have that one. You could put that in the best ever home kit. Yeah, I mean
All
it
right.
makes sense. I mean those are two iconic kits, honestly.
Yeah. No, I think this is a ranking that many United fans will look at and say, yeah, that's about right. I think there's a few people out there who will probably argue that that 93 94 kit should be in the best ever. I'm kind of inclined to agree. But by the same token, I think, regardless of whether you like the blue or not, I think everybody pretty much agrees that neon 1990 1991 away kit is kind of timeless and been replicated so many times. Just look over the last decade or so, at how many times we've utilized like that neon,
Yep. Yeah.
So I think that just about does it for this video. Some definitely some interesting choices in there from both of us. But I'm proud of this list, and I hope that,
Yep.
lifelong United fans will be proud of this list as well. We're going to close out like we always do here with giving our social media. Chad, where can the people follow you on social media?
They can find me on the Twitter sphere at cjarvis_13 and Blades in the USA. I gotta, just haven't had the time recently to get everything sorted to get that up and running. But yeah, you'll start seeing me more over there.
You can follow me, Noah Snyder, at Sunpuck on Instagram and at Nestman930 on Twitter. And please don't forget to subscribe below. Please like this video. It really does help our visibility. I'd love to see, on this video, maybe 50 or 60 likes. If we can get to
Yeah.
50 or 60 likes, I'd be perfectly happy with that. Make sure that you follow the Red Half of Sheffield on Twitter, at Red Sheffield, on Facebook, at the Red Half of Sheffield. We're going to continue to put out more content. And next week, we're going to be doing the aughts. A lot of bad kits in that decade. So please do stay tuned. Until then, up the blades.
Up the blades.
Come on, you red and white wizards.